If you think an older woman falls for a man because he's younger, more aggressive, or more physically intense, you already lost her, because what pulls a mature woman closer is almost never what most men think it is. And that's exactly where so many men get intimacy completely wrong. A younger woman might still be figuring herself out. She may respond to excitement, novelty, attention, or emotional chaos and confuse that for chemistry. But an older woman, she has lived enough to know the difference between surface attraction and a man who actually knows how to make her feel desired, safe, feminine, and deeply seen. And once she feels that combination with you, she doesn't just enjoy your presence. She starts craving it. Not because you were trying too hard, not because you acted like some alpha cartoon, and definitely not because you rushed the moment, but because you made her feel something most men are too impatient, too distracted, or too emotionally unaware to create. And if you understand what I'm about to tell you, you'll realize something powerful. A woman's body usually follows her emotions, but a mature woman's emotions only open when she feels your energy is real. That's the part most men skip. They think intimacy starts with touch. No, real intimacy starts way before that. It starts in the way you look at her when she's talking, in whether you actually listen, in whether your presence calms her nervous system or makes her feel like she has to perform. Because older women are not impressed by effort that feels forced. They're not moved by lines they've heard before. They don't melt because you said the right thing. They melt when your energy feels grounded, when your attention feels intentional, when your desire feels mature. And if you miss that, you'll misunderstand everything that makes her want you more. See, one of the biggest mistakes men make with older women is assuming they need to do more to impress them. More compliments, more touching, more pressure, more performance. But what actually creates obsession is often the opposite. It's control, not controlling her, controlling yourself. The man who becomes unforgettable is the man who knows how to slow the moment down instead of attacking it. Because when you rush a woman, she feels managed. But when you pace her, she feels understood. And that difference changes everything. An older woman notices details younger men usually miss. She notices whether you're trying to get something from her or whether you're truly connected to the moment with her. That's why emotional tension matters more than intensity. A lot more. Because if she feels like you're only focused on the physical side, she may still go along with the moment, but mentally, she starts disconnecting. And once her mind disconnects, her body follows. But when she feels that you're paying attention to her energy, her breathing, her reactions, her comfort, her emotional shifts, now she feels handled by a man who actually understands women. And that is rare, very rare. You want to know what makes a mature woman become crazy about a man? It's when she feels like she doesn't have to teach him how to feel her. That's powerful. Because women, especially experienced women, get tired of being with men who only know how to chase stimulation but don't know how to create real chemistry. And chemistry is not loud. Chemistry is subtle. It's in the pause before the kiss. It's in the eye contact that lingers a second longer. It's in the way your hand doesn't just move. It communicates. That's what most men never learn. Attraction usually shows up in behavior before it ever shows up in words. So if you really want to become unforgettable to her, stop thinking like a man who's trying to win the night and start thinking like a man who knows how to build emotional heat. Because emotional heat is what turns a moment into a memory. And older women remember how you made them feel. That's the part you cannot fake. A mature woman has usually experienced enough men to instantly sense the difference between hunger and depth. Hunger is easy to find. Depth is rare. And when she feels depth in your presence, something in her softens. She starts leaning in more. She holds eye contact longer. Her voice changes. Her body relaxes. Her femininity comes out naturally because she doesn't feel like she has to protect herself from your energy. That's when desire gets real. And this is where most men get it completely wrong. They think being dominant means being fast, forceful, or overly confident. No, real masculine energy is calm. It's steady. It's emotionally contained. A mature woman doesn't become obsessed with the loudest man in the room. She becomes obsessed with the man who makes her feel the most. And those are not the same thing. The truth is, a woman often wants to feel led, but not pushed. She wants to feel wanted, but not handled carelessly. She wants to feel your desire, but she also wants to feel your discipline. That combination is addictive, because it tells her this man is in control of himself. He's not here to take from me. He knows how to hold the moment. And when a woman feels held, she opens, not just physically, emotionally, mentally, energetically. That's when intimacy stops being mechanical and starts becoming magnetic. And if you've ever wondered why some men leave almost no emotional imprint, while others stay in a woman's mind for weeks, months, even years, this is why. Because the unforgettable man doesn't just touch her body, he touches her nervous system. He makes her feel safe enough to surrender and desired enough to stay emotionally present. That's a very different experience. And mature women can feel that difference immediately. Now let's go even deeper, because there's another layer to this that men underestimate all the time. An older woman often has responsibilities, emotional history, disappointments, stress, and a life that has made her more guarded than she looks. She may seem confident, playful, even bold on the outside, but underneath that, she still wants what every feminine woman wants deep down: to feel chosen without being pressured, to feel beautiful without having to ask, to feel wanted without being reduced to just a body. And when you understand that, your entire energy changes. You stop performing for her, you start connecting with her. And trust me, she can feel that immediately. That's why the men she becomes attached to are usually not the ones who just know moves. It's the ones who know timing. Timing is everything. Knowing when to lean in, knowing when to wait, knowing when to let the tension breathe, instead of trying to fill every silence. Because silence, when used right, creates more desire than non-stop talking ever will. Some of the strongest attraction a woman feels happens in moments where nothing dramatic is even happening. She just feels your presence. She feels your certainty. She feels that you're not nervous, needy, or trying to force the pace, and that makes her feel more feminine around you. That's what she responds to. Not just what you do, but how she feels when she's around you. That's the hidden truth. Women rarely fall the hardest for men who impress them the fastest. They fall for men who make them feel the deepest, and that emotional depth becomes even more important with age, because a mature woman has usually outgrown shallow excitement. She doesn't just want sparks, she wants emotional electricity. She wants a man whose attention feels intimate, not generic. That means if you're with her, don't move like you're repeating something you do with everybody. That kills desire. Women can feel when your energy is recycled, but when your attention feels specific to her, that changes everything. When you notice the little things about her, when you respond to her instead of just projecting your own agenda onto the moment, when you make her feel like she is not just being desired, but actually being experienced, now you become dangerous in the best way, because that's rare, and rarity creates attachment. This is also why confidence alone is not enough. A lot of men are confident and still emotionally forgettable. Why? Because confidence without emotional awareness can feel cold. And cold men may get access, but they don't create emotional addiction. What creates that deeper pull is confidence mixed with sensitivity. Not weakness, sensitivity. There's a huge difference. Sensitivity means you can feel what's happening without getting thrown off by it. It means you notice her emotional rhythm. You notice when she's opening up, when she's hesitating, when she wants reassurance, when she wants tension, when she wants to feel pursued, and when she wants to feel cherished. That kind of awareness is seductive, because it tells her she doesn't have to over-explain herself. And if there's one thing mature women love, it's not having to over-explain what they need. That alone can make you stand out more than you realize. Now here's another truth most men are not ready for. Sometimes what makes a woman obsess over you has less to do with what happened physically and more to do with how you carried yourself before and after. This part matters a lot, because many men know how to build tension for a moment, but they don't know how to sustain emotional attraction. They get the closeness, then suddenly their energy changes. They become distant, awkward, careless, or emotionally flat, and women feel that immediately, especially older women, because they are highly tuned into inconsistency. So if you want her to become crazy about you, understand this. Desire grows when she feels emotional continuity, when your warmth before the intimate moment matches your energy after, when your attention doesn't disappear the second you feel like you've got her. That's when trust deepens. That's when attachment grows. That's when she starts replaying you in her mind. Because very few men know how to make a woman feel emotionally safe and emotionally wanted at the same time. But when you do both, you become hard to replace. And this is the sign women rarely fake. When a mature woman feels truly connected to you, she becomes softer around you, not weaker, softer. She teases more, she touches more naturally, she stays closer, she finds little reasons to keep the moment going. She becomes more affectionate, more playful, more present. That shift matters because women rarely reveal desire directly. They reveal it in changes, changes in tone, changes in body language, changes in how long they stay emotionally available to you. And if you know how to read that, you stop chasing the wrong things. You stop trying to manufacture attraction. You start recognizing when it's actually building. And that's where your power is, not in trying to force chemistry, but in knowing how to protect it once it appears. And that requires maturity from you too. Because if you're impatient, emotionally sloppy, or too focused on your own ego, you'll miss the very thing that could have made her deeply attached to you. But if you know how to stay calm inside desire, now you're playing a completely different game. That's when a woman feels she can relax into you. That's when intimacy becomes memorable instead of forgettable. That's when she starts comparing other men to you without even meaning to. And once that starts happening, you've already won more than most men ever do. Because the truth is, older women are not hard to attract. They're just harder to fake with. That's the difference. They've usually seen enough to recognize performance. So what works with them is not more noise, it's more presence, more emotional control, more patience, more masculine steadiness, and more real attention. That's what makes her body respond differently. That's what makes her energy stay with you. That's what makes her want to come back. Not because you overwhelmed her, but because you understood her. And that may be the most seductive thing a woman can feel from a man. To be understood without being judged. To be desired without being rushed. To be led without being pressured. That's the combination that lingers. That's the kind of intimacy she remembers when she's alone. That's what makes a woman think about you long after the moment is over. So if you really want to make love in a way that leaves a lasting mark on her, stop focusing only on what men usually focus on. Stop thinking the answer is just technique. Technique without emotional intelligence is empty. But emotional intelligence with masculine control, that changes a woman completely. Because what she wants isn't just a man who can excite her, she wants a man who can unlock her. A man who knows that real desire is not created by rushing the body, it's created by understanding the woman. And once you truly understand that, you stop being just another experience in her life. You become the one she secretly compares others to, the one she remembers differently, the one she never fully forgets. And if you've ever felt like women are complicated, maybe the truth is not that women are complicated. Maybe it's that most men have only been taught how to chase attention, but never how to create real emotional attraction. And once you learn that difference, everything changes. Because a woman's strongest desire is rarely pulled out of her by pressure. It's awakened by presence, by patience, by emotional control, by the feeling that with you, she doesn't have to guard herself so tightly. That's when she becomes more open, more feminine, more expressive, more emotionally attached. And yes, that's when she starts wanting more of you than she planned to. Because the men women become obsessed with are usually not the ones who move the fastest. They're the ones who made the moment feel deepest. So if this hit harder than you expected, I want you to be honest in the comments. What do you think women actually remember most? The physical experience or the emotional energy behind it? And if you already know the answer, then you also know why most men never become unforgettable.